What's up, everybody? This is Jose.
Hey, Katie.
Welcome to downtown St. Pete at night. We just ate here at a little Greek place. Let's walk around and explore and see what St. Pete looks like at night. This right here is where we ate out earlier, and it is a Saturday night. We're just gonna go for a little walk. This is kind of central here, and it kind of splits the city and into north to south. And it's one of the biggest downtowns in Florida, and a little bit of gentrification, a little bit of growth, lots of restaurants, and downtown St. Pete always stays packed. Earlier today there was a bicycle race. That's why we're seeing a lot of road closures and stuff, but not bad at all. Lots of police presence in downtown on the weekends, making sure that everything is nice and safe. Let's go for a walk. There are a lot of luxury apartments. So there's a bicycle race earlier today, right down Central. So that's why they had the whole thing closed off. They sped right past us. I couldn't believe how fast they were going. So a lot of people ask us, do downtowns of cities feel safe at night? It depends on the city. St. Pete, like I said, has one of the largest downtowns in Florida. There's been a lot of gentrification. I always like to check out the police cars in every city we go to. So the St. Petersburg police car is right here. Out of curiosity, what would these apartments over here rent for? Kind of like the ones where we live in Lakewood Ranch. They're usually pretty freaking expensive. So what they're doing here in St. Pete is on the bottom you got restaurants and businesses, on the top you got apartments. And it's worked pretty well for them. Every time I come back to St. Pete, it looks better and better and safer and nicer and nicer. It just seems like it keeps improving to where it wasn't like that many years ago, but it's definitely getting better. So it's come a long way, I will say that, and it almost feels like a miniature New York City at this point, where there's actually people out and about at night. So there's a lot of smells in the city. You can smell the herbs, the herbal essence of the city, which usually is not a great sign for me. I don't like it, and it seems like everywhere you go you can smell it. But like I said, gentrification comes with good, and it comes with bad as well. There's a bicycle race earlier, and they're picking up this is like the metal fencing they use. It feels way safer than, let's say, Tallahassee at night. It's a more family-friendly environment. Even though there is a lot of herbal essence in the air, it's still somewhat. You gotta watch the sidewalks though. It seems like there's a lot of crap you can trip on here. I think the sidewalks are a mess here. But it really is a huge downtown. Like, I cannot emphasize for the size of St. Petersburg how big their downtown is. And during the winter, it's really, really packed. Last time we were here, we met a lot of people from Michigan. Seems like there's a lot of Michiganders deciding to live in St. Pete. Lots of restaurants, high population density, and I think a success of an improvement in the city. Some Asheville, North Carolina vibes. Just going through the city today, there were a lot of events going on, and it's not even the winter time yet, right? Most of the stuff in the action in Florida is in the winter. It's not even tourist season yet, but there were a lot of events. Other than this bicycle race today, there was also some type of sporting event going on somewhere else. So it seems like there was a lot going on in the city today. Lots of different events, and I would say that's great, because a lot of cities don't have much going on. There sure seems to be a lot going on here. And again, they've really brought in gentrification, new buildings, a lot going on. So they've really brought in a lot of construction. Pretty much Central runs like the length of the city, and the whole thing. Miles leading away from downtown. It's just like we're not even directly in downtown. I think we're like maybe a few miles to the west of downtown here. So it's definitely quite the district. Yeah, big area to explore. So if you want a city where you can walk a lot, like let's say you're a walking person, or you know, one of these electric moped looking thingies or whatever, if you just like being in the outdoors, the city offers a lot. And we're not even in the, you know, the season of the year where we get most of our tourists in Florida. Like, we'll get to the point where there'll be a lot more people here. So for being this part of the year, I think it is great how much there's going on here. You know, most of the time this time of year in Florida, we slow down to a crawl. There really isn't much going on in Florida during, you know, what we call the off season. So for being the off season, not bad. Biggest garbage can I've ever seen. It smells like herbal essence and alcohol. So how okay, Michigan? Wisconsin's playing Michigan? So how play Michigan? Oh, Wisconsin?
Yeah, right?
A lot of action in here. A lot of young people too compared to other cities. There's lots of young people, which, you know, is great. What's this? Pizza ATM? A pizza vending machine? Seems like the vibe here is a lot better than, it's like, let's say like downtown Branson, where it's absolutely dead. They got a big boys thingy? Cool, man. They got the big boys. We've seen a few of these before, especially out in the Midwest. Hanging out with the big boy, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, look, this lady's a realtor. I bet she sold more houses than you.
Able to get to the outside quite nicely.
Right, man. But compared to a lot of other cities, like let's say compared to Jacksonville, Florida, where you definitely wouldn't go to downtown at night, compared to like Branson's, there's no nightlife at all in Branson. Sarasota has all right nightlife, but downtown is so small. Empanadas. Undercover Camry.
Comfortable enough to walk. And if I'm comfortable enough to walk, then it's comfortable for everyone.
Alright, anybody coming? We can go through here. There's still people biking, but I don't think it's part of the race. I think the race is over. So yeah, they had this complete cyclist. They were fast, man. I saw them when they went by. Couldn't believe how fast they were. But you know, music, lots of police, lots of young people. This is definitely a refreshing vibe compared to other Florida cities. A lot of youth, and that's great, man. Yeah, I mean, all the other cities in Florida fill with old people, man. That's like, you go to any other Florida city and then it's just filled with old, decrepit, abandoned human beings. You know what I mean? Run down, plywood on the windows. You know what I mean? Just definitely a different vibe here, that's for sure.
Just tell her to meet us in the same spot.
So it almost feels like Panama City Beach kind of vibe. Yeah, that's what I would say. Almost like a Panama City Beach kind of vibe.
This is so good. If you know how to order ramen.
And lots of sports teams. So this love graffiti, I've seen it everywhere. I've seen it in Sarasota in a few places, and I see it here. Now I don't know if it's a real graffiti artist or if it's like whatever, but I have seen it just about everywhere. I love how it's like sporadic, like there's little businesses that will gather a lot of crowds, and then you got other spots where there's like nothing going on. It's kind of like sporadic. It reminds me a lot of Panama City Beach.
If you haven't figured that one out yet, you got fish.
All right, more gentrification. So again, usually when I show up to cities, I don't really do a lot of research on events. So whatever event they're having here, I know it's a bike race. That's about it. But there are people out and about, good vibes. And actually, there's bicyclists over there rolling through. So kind of reminds me of Miami a little bit too, a little bit of a Miami vibe, but not as hectic as Miami. It's more chill than Miami. Obviously, sports teams and events are huge, and that's awesome. Like I said, you've seen a lot of Michigan stuff, and it's from Michigan, so yeah, there's a huge Michigan crowd here, which is awesome. People from Michigan are all right with me. People from Ohio, I can't say the same thing. There's the bicyclists. People, they were, couldn't believe how fast those bikes were, man. It was insane.
I don't know who that is.
You'll be quiet.
I don't know who that is.
There's also like a lot going on the alleyway behind us, so we'll roll through there and see exactly what's going on in the alleyway. Notice that there's a lot of diversity here too. I don't know what language they were speaking, but definitely not one I can identify. Lots of diversity here, people from everywhere. It's not like the most diverse city in the country, but there's starting to be some diversity. Used to be that St. Pete was like one of the least diverse cities, but that's starting to change a lot. The hope in Dallas County, really, as there's an affordability crunch in other parts of Florida. So I would say, at least compared to my other visits, every time I come back to St. Pete, it looks better, to the point where 5 or 6 years ago, I would have not even considered living here, period. And today, you never know. It's improved a lot. Like, doesn't feel dangerous at all. And again, there's an incredibly massive police presence. And again, there's a lot going on in the alleyway. We're not even on the hot spot here. It seems like the alleyway over there, there's a huge crowd in this alleyway over here. Not sure exactly what, but that alleyway over there, if you look in the alleyway is just packed. What do you think, babe? What do you think about the vibes?
Alright.
You like it?
Yeah.
So one of the things that Katie and I have been talking about is eventually finding a place where people are younger. She's a realtor. You're not allowed to talk about old people, right? As a realtor, she's not allowed to talk bad about old people, but I'm not a realtor. I've had it with old people in Florida, and I would like to live somewhere in Florida that isn't a freaking nursing home. And you know, this kind of isn't a nursing home, but in the past, my visits here didn't seem all that great. But the more I come back to St. Pete, the better it looks. Of course, she's a realtor, so she's not allowed to talk bad about old people. But I'll tell you what, you gone, you old, man. Yeah. So a small apartment will be about $22 here, and a studio about $1,500. So about the same as what we're paying in Lakewood Ranch. So overall, I would say a complete step above other Florida cities as far as you.
Dude, are you like okay? Like you need us to call the police? Say the FBI.
There's a lot of old school German cars here in St. Pete. I've noticed that. like Beamers, Benzes, anything like from the 90s and 2000s. Lots of that stuff going around here. So I'd say if you are young, there is some incredible nightlife to be enjoyed here in St. Pete. And it's not just one spot, like I said, it runs for miles. Lots of different areas to enjoy in the city. We're not even in downtown directly or right on the water, so lots of them. So a little bit of a Miami vibe, a little bit of an awesome city vibe here. The city's gone a long way from our previous trips. I can say definitely better than the past. Lots of investment, and most importantly, young people. Can't emphasize that enough, considering the reputation that Florida has as being a nursing home. And there's a lot of other nursing home states. Maine, there's a few other states that are nursing homes. It's not just Florida. But what a horrible reputation to have. On this alleyway, I guess they're just selling stuff. We'll just ride through here. Again, I have no idea what this event's about. It's just rolling through here.
Hey guys, before we get to Ghost Trip, how many raffle prizes? 6 prizes. 6 good prizes. We're going to do it quick and efficient right before the awards. They're coming back and starting all over the top. So if you have your raffle tickets, raffle time is going to be in about 30 minutes. 8:45 is a rough spot. Raffle will be right here. 6 dope prizes. You guys have 1 more minute of practice. My man James Cobb and Marsh, you guys ready? You guys ready to do it? It is. First of all, remake. 15-minute jam. Skate so you fall. If it gets to 15 minutes and if somebody's taking their 4th run, we'll give you 4 runs. You have to cross into it, over it, on it, or off the railing, or the palm trees, or drop in on that J. Dunn crane up there. That is a hell of a drop. So I'd like to remove that from the record. I don't want to have any responsible feelings or emotions on somebody going.
I lost Katie.
My mango coconuts. God, I'm having so much fun. Does anybody want a koozie? We have extra koozies. We don't have that much stuff. Put it on your liquid death. Here we go.
Mobile Kitchen, La Strada. What are they cooking up? Pizza? Burgers. Nice looking truck though. Nice looking truck. Aguas frescas. I was gonna get some cookies, but I don't know if they had weed in them or not. Kind of like Tallahassee, but you don't feel like you're going to get assaulted by a person at any moment. I didn't even know there were this many young people in Florida. I thought everybody here was just old. What type of event is this?